alcoholism is weakness in a way. People see it as a weakness. Now, what I mean by that is I felt very weak when I was an alcoholic. I felt very vulnerable. And I was very strong, mentally and physically, when I was younger, even when I was drinking. But I wanted to go through this a little bit at a time. As I became more dependent on drink, I became more dependent on other people in a way, in that I needed to ask for assistance with things. I wasn't very reliable. So in the end, when I was really ill, I couldn't really do anything. I had to get taxis to places, I had to get things delivered. I had to get people to help me with pretty sort of ordinary tasks, really. Going to the shops, sorting my bills, because I lost the plot, in the end. And then when you get to the stage where you can't help yourself, in hospital. Now, I was a blue light worker, I was in the police. When you get to the stage where you're being helped by the other 999 services, it's pretty bad. Because I was a proud man, a very proud man. And really, you need somebody to do everything for you. And that's what I mean about being vulnerable. But prior to that, people see your weaknesses you see in drink, and they will exploit them. I'm not going to go into any details about that, because it's personal to me. But you'll find that you're not as cocksure as you used to be, and you lose your confidence. And when you lose your confidence, people prey on you a little bit, especially if you're in a team of drinkers. Again, nothing specific, but you get my drift. So you're not confident about life at all, and from then on, you become anxious about things, and maybe you give too much away in every aspect of your life, and you don't make the right decisions. So alcohol made me very vulnerable to making the wrong decisions and being easily manipulated. That's another thing. Because you don't have the mental clarity. My mental clarity is perfect now. I've got no anxiety whatsoever. I was very, very vulnerable, even before I went to hospital, having to rely on other people. And I used to worry about things so much and ask people for advice about simple things, which normally now I just bat them off. So I'll sort that myself. And now I'm able to help other people. I'll sort things out for them, which is a great way to live, to know that you can help others. But that was one of the biggest shocks to me when I got into the hospital environment, that I needed people to help me all the time. In the end, I needed assistance from ambulance drivers to push me in a wheelchair from the front door of my elderly parents' house to the ambulance, which was a tailgate ambulance, or the lower the back, put the wheelchair on, lift you about 3 feet or 2 feet even, and then come inside the ambulance and they pull you onto this sort of runner thing, and then they strap you in. I couldn't even put my own seatbelt on. So all these things made me feel very, very weak in the head and in the mind. Well, obviously in the mind, but in the body as well, it just didn't feel well. I never felt at ease with all that. Some people liked help, I didn't really want any help, but I couldn't help myself, if that makes sense. And then you just feel as if you've got nothing to give the world. And I felt really down on myself, and I got depressed. And I had some dark thoughts, I have to admit, which I did tell the doctors, and nothing was followed up about that, because I managed to pull myself round. Maybe by good luck more than good management, I don't know, but I stay off the drink. That's the main thing you've got to do, you stay off the drink. But physically I was completely vulnerable as well. Couldn't help myself. I was losing weight, I couldn't even put weight on. I couldn't stop the society's fluid building up. That was just a symptom of the liver problems. And then I just got worse and worse. I was very malnourished. The doctor used to say, well, you're deconditioned. Then my sodium level went down. The sodium level was critical one time, and I had to have an emergency operation, 4 o'clock in the morning. I was taking the ICU, and I said, oh, don't take me to the ICU, don't take me to the ICU. You know, it's like when you're in hospital, you're frightened, aren't you? I was so frightened that I was going to die. And the reporters rushed me down to ICU. 2 surgeons were there to sort me out. I was in intensive care for a few days until the sodium level crept up. But it was very, very low still. So I was in this other hospital in the northeast for about 8 weeks, between 6 and 8 weeks. We're doing the sodium, blood test to check the sodium every day. My arms were black and blue, and I got no sleep. I needed help to go to the loo. I just needed help with everything. It was horrific. From being a confident, strong man to being looked after like a baby. All these things will come to you if you carry on drinking. And many people I speak to say they want to be social drinkers, and I know they can't. I know what's going to happen to them. Sooner rather than later, something's going to happen to you. I've got other ex-drinking buddies, as it were, who have had strokes, heart attacks. Some have had accidents. One guy kept falling over and eventually fractured his skull and died. Another friend who's had 2 strokes, and now he's in hospital. Probably will never walk again because he's broken his hip. He's 63, he's got so many different comorbidities. I don't think he'll ever come out of a wheelchair if he ever gets out of hospital. There's all these sort of things happen to you. The people who haven't drunk so much, the people who are social drinkers, and people who've maybe been teetotal, which there aren't many teetotalists to be fair, they are strong in their 50s and 60s. They're living the life as I am now. And there's no way that if I'd carried on drinking, I'd be living the life I am now. It's just an impossible dream for me, this. In October 2019, I was nearly, 6 foot under, to put it mildly. And to come back to the level of health, even a consultant said, if somebody told me 2019 you get back to this level of health, I would have questioned it. So you've got to be strong. You've got to have a strong will, and you've got to have a reason to come off it. You've got to do it for yourself. People can tell you to stop, tell you to cut down and get out for a walk and do some exercise. That's not the basis of it. You have to completely change your mindset about life. And forget your social drinking. Forget about the pub. Forget about, you can go to a pub but don't drink. Forget about the good old time. This is a new chapter. Close the book completely on the old chapter. I know people have been into rehab who've drunk again. I know people have had liver transplants who've drunk again. And it didn't last long. I know a guy who was at the same hospital as me who kept drinking. He's very, very ill now with jaundice, and he's virtually yellow now. We get enough warnings. We know ourselves when we're drinking too much. And it's not that difficult to recognise the signals. You'll feel weak, you'll feel tired, you'll have a terrible nauseous feeling, you have bad heads, you feel like dehydrated, all the usual symptoms of having too much to drink. You will know when it's you get, it's past the point of no return in some ways. But you can get back. I thought I was gone, completely gone, when I was told I had all these issues in 2019. And didn't give up though. And that's the thing, you can't afford to give up. Never give up. Even though it takes you right to the bottom. Because there is hope up there. And I'm living proof. I'm here to help you. I do one-to-one support, mentoring, get in touch. I've got an ebook out. I'll put all the links in the description. And more than anything, keep positive. That's the main thing you've got to do. You've got to keep positive. Your body will fight for you if you give it a chance. Okay? Don't carry on drinking if you can stop. If you can't stop without getting medical help, push the medical help as well. Get in touch with me or people who are doing this. Get in touch with the subscribers on here, because we've all had some sort of issue with alcohol. Otherwise we wouldn't be here. It's a massive problem. Massive worldwide problem. It's getting worse. And I bid you all good night. I'll speak to you soon.